Now we're going to take a look at Eastmack going over to Olympic. My opinion, the key to Eastmack, you got to commit to stopping the run and force Olympic to throw the ball. They are a heavy run team. You got to take what they do best away. If they beat you over the top, they beat you over the top. You know, it is what it is. I think, you know, you've got some offensive power, and your only chance, you know, really in this one is to somehow come up with a scheme to stop the Olympic run game. Key for Olympic, you got to pressure the quarterback and force turnovers. The quarterback for Eastmack, I think he's a streaky guy. Once he throws a couple of good ones, he can start burning you, and you don't want to let him get in the rhythm. So you pressure him. I've seen it a couple times. If you put some pressure on the kid, it's kind of tough for him, and he'll, you know, turn the ball over a little bit. So I think if Olympic does that, they're gonna, you know, pretty much will have their way here in this one, honestly.
Okay. Gosh, where to start on this one? East Mecklenburg. I think offensively, you should attempt to control the ball. You know, do that thing that we talk about many times here, and that's shorten the game or shorten the amount of time that the opposing team has the ball. Limit their number of plays by controlling the clock on your side. I think that is going to be very important in this ball game because Olympic can be fairly explosive on offense. So limit their number of plays. That's a key thing. Give your defense opportunities to rest to be able to play. Defensively, you know, from what I've seen Olympic twice now. Olympic does like to run, but they can also throw. So you got to be cautious, and you can't let those receivers get roaming free. Darius means you need to pay attention to it. The kid will run right by you, and they've got a pretty good quarterback in Ron Tinsley who can sling the ball. So I think you've got to defensively, yes, you need to contain the run. You know, try to take advantage of that young offensive line that Olympic has, and force things. Your best options are going to be to force quick decisions, and you know, maybe make Tinsley not make some smart decisions. Offensively, well, I've already said you need to control the ball. Try to limit those opportunities. And then take advantage of what has been the perceived, I don't know that it's still the weakness. They look to be a little bit stronger, but attack their secondary is going to be your best option in the past. And even if they're better at that this year, they're still growing and learning, so that's still going to be the weak point. Because their defensive line is a pretty good defensive line. So, you know, try not to let contain Dinkins. Is what you'll need to do offensively. On the other side of the ball, Olympic just needs to do what they did last week, and that's make certain they can finish drives, score. You know, run, pass. It's whatever they want to do, I think. Defensively, they need to contain pressure on the quarterback. Dinkins and that defensive line needs to have a big ball game. I think if they can control the line there, take some pressure off your DBs. So make that quarterback, if he decides to throw, make him make some hurried rush decisions to give your DBs a little bit of an opportunity. I think that's really it.
All right, good deal. Next thing we're going to take a look at, a little West Side battle here. West Charlotte going over to Berry. I think for the key for West Charlotte, you got to find some consistent offensive rhythm. They have not scored that much this season. They had 20 against Butler. Most of that came late. They only had 8 against Harding. Not that much of a showing. And they had, I don't know if they scored. Did they score against Westmac? 6-0, something along those lines.
Something like that.
Yeah, so you got to find some offensive rhythm. And, you know, if you don't score, you don't win. You know, plain and simple. The key for Berry, finish the game. you know, you got a team here in West Charlotte you're probably a little better than. So if you're up in the fourth quarter, put them away. You had a chance last week on the road to get a big win at A.L. Brown, but you couldn't close it out, up 9 in the fourth quarter.
Right.
So you're gonna be in. I think you're gonna be in a situation where you can close this one out, put the hammer down, and get yourself a win and get your first win on the season going into conference play.
Barry's been giving up 50 points a game. West Charlotte's been giving up 53. Lots of points by both teams. Barry last week tripled their output, offensive output. So big game. I don't, not seeing the game. We don't know what it is with A.L. Brown. Why? Was it all Barry or was it partly A.L. Brown?
Well, the thing I got from that was Barry's receivers were much bigger than A.L. Brown in the secondary.
Mm-hmm.
They were able to win some jump ball battles, deep balls, and that's why Omar Baker had a good game, 5 touchdown passes.
So, here you're going to be, Barry's going to be facing a team that is athletic in West Charlotte, and, on paper the teams, appear to be fairly matched. Both are giving up lots of points, so we could end up seeing a pretty high scoring ball game out of both teams. I think if I'm Barry, I'm going to continue to throw the ball. So try to take advantage. If you got something going last week with your quarterback and your receivers, just move that on into this week. If it was purely a height advantage, I bet that they'll have a pretty decent advantage this time around too. Defensively, giving up 50 points a game, that's a lot of points, Barry. This is West Charlotte, but giving up a lot of points, and West Charlotte does have some ability on that other side of the ball. I think I think like you say, finish the game. I think maybe the defense has got to finish the game. So finish the game at the start of the game. You just got to play with more intensity, start of the game through the end of the game, and I think about the same things. Although on West Charlotte, I believe I'd run to the edges more. Try to get your guys into space. That's going to be your advantages. But then, of course, Barry's athletic and fast on that other side of the ball. So, I don't know. It's hard to call because really I think it's going to be both teams offensively are going to be able to do a lot of what they want to do. And defensively, the other team's going to have a tougher time stopping them. So.
All right.